Hey, good evening to you all. Chuck Grigsby here, and I'm getting ready to be a part of a presentation that we're doing from our Independent Study Oversight Commission meeting, or commission's meetings that we've had over the last 8 months in relation to creating a police oversight commission here in the city of East Lansing. And so tonight I'll be just doing a brief intro, and then my colleagues, fellow commissioners, will be talking specifically to some of the recommendations that we put forth of our documents to council, East Lansing City Council, and they will hear us, maybe ask a couple questions, and then they'll go back and I guess talk about it, and then come back and hopefully have it in an ordinance format, and then vote on it after recommendations of their amendments and edits and all that kind of stuff to that ordinance. So that's the process. We're about a few minutes out from that. I just wanted to cue everything up so you had an opportunity to catch it. So you'll hear some stuff before that opportunity. I will be talking very, very briefly, then I'll probably cut the live just in case I have any more additional questions to follow in the presentation, or maybe I'll keep it going, just depending on kind of the format and how it's going. So stay tuned, stay loaded, and just listen in, and bear with me here before we get to the presentation area.
91 years old, grandfather to Alex was author of One Sick, and grandfather to Sam was a local member of the East Lansing community as well. He was the first licensed African American.
We were seriously working so hard on this. This draft ordinance is what we call it, to council. We really had a lot of input from the community. We had a lot of expertise involved, academics involved, research involved, data analysis went into all this. We wanted to look around nationally on these issues and learn what not to do when we talk about creating a police oversight in our community of East Lansing and how important that is. So we're very proud of our recommendations. It was 11 commissioners of predominantly diverse and ethnically and racially diverse majority on the council, and we really had an opportunity to do this despite being on Zoom the whole time, despite not having the ability to be able to meet in a way that's a little more intimate to talk about complex issues. So it's one of those things that has not been done in the city of East Lansing via this type of work, via what we're doing. So it's a part of the history, and I'm proud to be a part of that, and proud to be able to have worked with the people that I worked with, to learn so much from them. I look forward to doing more in the community going forward, and like I said, stay tuned, and hopefully when you get a chance to see not only this video but the previous videos of me recording all our commission works over the course of the time, you can use that information for your city, and it can be a template hopefully of how you want to incorporate police oversight eventually. So stay tuned. Just for a point of reference, it is 6/8/2021, June 8th, and we are in the city of East Lansing, Ingham County, Michigan. And I am on hold here with the city council before our presentation to present. And again, I will be doing a very little portion of that, and then my fellow commissioners, 3 of them, will be doing the overall summary of what we've done. It's a quite lengthy document, if you can imagine, data analysis and research over 8 months, all in one document. Presentations, city attorney involvement, deputy chief police involved. We had community members, as I said before. Everyone was involved and had a seat at the table in regards to how this is going to be implemented in our city. So once we hand this thing off, again, they will probably have to get this sent to city attorney's office, which we've already done that as well, and they will get that. And so hopefully city attorney's office will take that document change it into an ordinance, and so when they have this ordinance created, and then eventually pass a resolution of new city police independent oversight commission in our city, it'll be reflective of the work that we've been doing, and that's very, very important. So stay tuned. I'm just giving you a little filler in between before we get there. There's people talking about some different things of council, and if you've seen any of my videos, you know usually I'm running the show, and I'm the one dictating how the meeting is going. So this is reverse roles here. So I'm just a participant. I'm just committing to the process and finishing up the journey and the goal of what we've been doing. 11 commissioners been doing for the last 8 months of this heavy work, but good work, and work that will evolve as we go over. I really like to say real quickly that the oversight commission that will be eventually, hopefully, in our community is not going to be the end-all be-all to the issues that we're having with our public safety department and community policing. This is one element of many. This is a piece of the puzzle, and one cog of the big machine that needs to be going as far as reform, accountability, trust, and transparency when it comes to the East Lansing Police Department, and all police departments going forward. So hopefully this works for you, again, in your community at some point in time. So hold on here, we're getting close, I believe. I'll be talking real briefly on the intro, just going over. I also chaired the HRC, which is the Human Rights Commission, and a lot of this work came from our area, and then the council created a resolution to create an oversight commission, which I'm also talking about, and I also chair, that is creating the police oversight. So just to give you an idea of how that is set up, because it is a little bit confusing, so stay tuned. City council meeting as a panelist or as a presenter, they're dealing with issues throughout the whole city. There was a big one tonight, the 1500 ordinance when it comes to rental ordinances, and that took quite a bit of time to finish some of that conversation up, and been involved with that so far, so we'll kind of get narrowed in here for a quick second.
Also this past year in managing the pandemic. As many folks know, he was on our team and actually leading some of our emergency preparedness plans.
I believe they're talking about the retirement of the Parks and Rec administrator or director here for the city of East Lansing, who's been here for many, many years, and I think he's retiring. I think they're speaking on that right now, and just kind of acknowledging him and his work in the city of East Lansing.
I'd like to acknowledge personally Chief Talavera has always been somebody that I was more than able to talk to discuss complicated issues with. I had the history and also
Chief Talavera is, I believe, the fire chief for the city of East Lansing. If they're talking about him, I'm not quite sure specifically what they're addressing, but he is the chief of the fire department here in East Lansing.
As well, there's many different volunteer positions, as well as just how much he has done for this city. And so I want to acknowledge the incredible work of Chief Talavera. You will be missed, but we appreciate your service here. Thank you for many, many years, and you are leaving a legacy and some really tough shoes to fill. So I thank you for that. And on a personal level, I cannot acknowledge enough how helpful you have been throughout my council career, and I'm sure that is the case for many other councils in the past. So thank you. Our next retirement is Director Tim McCaffrey.
So now they are talking about the Parks and Rec Department director. I believe his name is Tim McCaffrey. He's the one who's been doing this thing for forever. And then so Chief Talavera, who they were just speaking with and about, now is retiring, which is news to me. has also been around for a long period of time. I believe he served, if I'm not mistaken, as chief of fire department in Lansing for quite some time. Then came over here to East Lansing. So we have two longtime fixtures in the city staff that seem to be retiring at the same time when it comes to the city staffing of those departments. So that's a big deal if that is the case. Obviously, based on the body of work and the years that they have served. Don't know the number of years, unfortunately, but they have been involved for quite some time. So we'll get on topic here hopefully shortly for the Study Commission on Independent Police Oversight presentation to Council for Independent Police Oversight Commission that will be created here going forward in the city of East Lansing.
As much as I can, because we thank staff for work on individual policies. We're obviously here, but that vision for the future is something that is needed and has influenced our city more than I hope that they know. Our city has benefited for many, many years from the leadership of Director Tim McCaffrey. I wish him nothing but the best in the future, and I appreciate his service to this community. And I would be remiss if I honestly didn't say Director House as well. You're going to be leaving us for a year. I appreciate your service to this country. Thank you for being with us in the city, and thank you for having such a great team that I am not worried about you leaving for a year. So I appreciate that. Acknowledge a couple of things that are going on in our city right now. As you see, there's a lot of activity in our downtown.
So they're still talking about city stuff right now. The mayor is finishing up council member comments. So all of the other council members have spoken to a topic or topics that they want to address. He's finishing up his comments. He's got it sounds like a little bit more to go in regards to that. I'll be really talking in my brief part of it, the Human Rights Commission's perspective of the oversight process and how we got up to this point, very briefly, and just kind of in the very beginning, when it comes to complaints and reports and information, it was very little to none in a way that we could look at it and analyze it. And then as we get further on each year, the Oversight Commission was able to get a little bit more information, and it evolved to really coming away concerned and wanting to do more, but not really having the tools to do that, or the mandate really to go further when it comes to some of that action step and policy and procedures that the community needed and who we represented in the community. So that's kind of the HRC perspective, and then also we'll be addressing the community perspective and community input that we have from working here for the last few months with the Oversight Commission. We had 2 meetings a month for the last 8 months. Obviously, that's a lot of time, a lot of energy put into that. And the most powerful and impactful meeting and process was something that we got from community input. We had over 50-something people participate. Just want to make sure. And we just had, that type of input, which was powerful and impactful, as I said. And, we got confirmation, we got directives, we got scope, and we got the validation of how important it is of independence. When you have confirmation of what you're doing with this work, when you don't know what the outcome's going to be, getting that from community input was a powerful thing. We got several directives that experiences some of the different issues over the time from the community, and that was really important to really understand how we need to go further with our directive, and gave us also a scope about what people expect of oversight and what we're able to do as a city, as Oversight Commission that is being put in. So I'm about to jump on here real quick, so hold on to me.
Thank you very much. I'll move on to the city attorney's report, Mr. Hummer.
Good evening, Mayor. I just wanted to mention, I don't have anything to report, but I just wanted to note that because my 11-year-old son plays lacrosse, we had the opportunity to come down to downtown East Lansing on Friday night. We stayed at the Marriott, and my son and I ate at the Jolly Pumpkin, and we had a fabulous time. I met Mr. Cummings down there. We had an opportunity to hang out for a bit, and the downtown looked phenomenal, and both my son and I had a fabulous time.
Well, I appreciate appreciate that comment. Thank you very much. Is that the end of the report?
That is it.
Great. All right. It is 8:40 right now. Before we get into our special presentation, I'm going to take a 10-minute break very briefly, and then we will get back to our study committee
10-minute break. So
presentation.
we'll be
See you
signing
guys
off.
back at 8:50.
Hopefully it was helpful. Appreciate you.